Welcome to the How to Play video for Lewt Ninja the card game. Lewt Ninja is a game for 2 to 5 players and comes with 3 decks, 10 character cards, and an instruction booklet. In this video, we'll show you how to play the game and several of the game mechanics that you may have questions about. Have all players choose one of the 5 hero types. There are 2 of every hero that come with this game. 2 of the same hero types can play in a single game. Having 2 of the same heroes in a game can result in a more competitive and highly backstabbing fun time. Character cards are also quick reference cards for our heroes to use throughout the gameplay. The card details what class the hero is. For instance, Cain Bloodstone is a shield knight. Any loot cards that have a hero class on them means that only the hero class can activate the power on the card, or use the item to unlock one of the hero's abilities. The hero's ability list shows how many armor pieces they need to activate a hero's ability and what the ability will do. The armor set list. This shows all of the armor by name that a hero needs to find and collect in order to win the game. The icon list. This shows the different icons found on the player cards and the name of the icon. Remember, each hero has their own unique armor and weapons that they must use throughout the game, as well as unique and powerful abilities for their hero class, so choose wisely. Lewt Ninja comes with 3 unique decks: the Monster deck, the Player deck, and the Loot deck. The Monster deck is filled with all of the mean and ugly creatures that are hoarding your loot. Inside the deck you will find 2 types of monsters. The first monster type are your basic underlings, which are colored with a green border. All cards have 2 information panels. The first panel tells you the name of the monster, and the second panel that lists out any special rules for the round, the number of loot cards to draw, or any additional monsters that may be drawn for the round. The second type of monster found in the deck are the boss monsters. These cards are indicated with an orange and gold border, as well as a monster skull under the picture. And just like the basic monster cards, they also have a name and a rules area. Boss monsters will usually have higher loot card draws and even special rules that can limit the use of a hero's abilities or the use of different types of cards from the player deck. The Loot deck. Inside the Loot deck, you will find many types of treasures and magical items for your hero to try and win or steal away from other heroes. The main objective of Lewt Ninja is to collect all 8 pieces of your magical armor. Each hero has a specific armor set they will need to hunt down and collect, and if you are the first to collect all 8 pieces of your armor, then you win the game. Along with the magical armor, players will find an assortment of items to loot and steal. All items have selling prices and buying prices. If you happen upon a traveling merchant, he will gladly sell you some of his wares for some of your items. Some loot cards will give you more treasure if you win them, or some items can give you an added bonus to your roll cards, as well as increase the number of cards you can have in your hand. The more powerful weapons for your hero will grant you new abilities, just like your armor cards unlock your hero's abilities. The player deck is where heroes get all of the roll cards and special action cards to use for winning loot, or stealing it away from other heroes. There are 3 types of player cards. The roll card. These cards are used for deciding who won loot that has been dropped by a monster. The player with the highest roll wins the loot. Player action and system action cards are special actions that players can play at any point of the game. These cards allow you to remove another player's roll card or steal loot away from a winner. Player action cards are denoted with a game controller icon at the bottom of the card, and system action cards have a cog set at the bottom of their cards. Some quick terminology before play start. The term stash is the area where hero piles up any loot they have won. The term on the board is any cards that are in play or have been played or used or drawn from the 3 decks. and are placed in the center of the game area. Starting the game. Once all players have selected their hero, remove any armor and weapon cards from the loot deck for any of the heroes not being played in this game. Then, shuffle the decks and place them on the table where everyone can easily reach them. Deal out 7 player cards from the player's deck. Players may only keep up to 9 cards in their hand unless they have an item card that will allow them to hold more than 9 cards. Once all cards have been dealt, choose which hero will start the round. A round starts by having the player draw the first card from a monster deck, which is called pulling a monster, and then reading aloud the conditions for the card. In this example, the hero pulls the Goblin Lancer. The card says to draw 1 loot card and 1 monster card. The hero draws 1 card from the loot deck and shows everyone the item. They then draw another monster card from the monster deck. Our hero has pulled a giant bear. The card says to draw another loot card, and if the loot card that is drawn is a weapon, draw another card from the monster deck. The player now draws the second treasure from the loot deck. It's not a weapon, so they will stop drawing cards. Now the looting phase of the game begins. At this point, players will play one of the roll cards in their hand by placing the card face down on the board. Once all players have played a card, they will flip over and reveal to see who has the highest roll. Our hero, playing the Holy Monk, wins the loot with a roll of 60. The looting phase of the round is now complete, and the winner of the loot must now try to protect their winnings from the other heroes. The final part of the round is called the Ninja phase. This is where players will use their system and player action cards to steal away loot from winners or the loot deck itself. Our hero, the Wizard, plays the Lag card, which allows them to return any hero's roll card back to their hand, effectively canceling out the Holy Monk's winning roll. The Shield Knight then plays the Bio Break on the Mystic hero, removing their card from the board and discarding it into the discard pile. The Mystic, knowing the armor drop belongs to their class, plays the Instance Down card, ending the round and returning the loot to the bottom of the deck, denying all players of winning any of the loot. With the round over, all players will draw 1 new card from the player's deck. During a round, you may play as many cards as you want, but beware of using too many cards, for the next round could hold something extremely powerful or valuable to you. Hero abilities. Each hero has special abilities that can be unlocked once they own a number of their armor cards. The first ability unlocks once they own 2 armor cards, and the second when they have 4 armor cards. A third ability can be unlocked if the hero finds their magical and legendary weapon. A hero can only use one of their abilities during a round, and cannot use another ability until it is their turn to start the round again. This example, the Mystic has 2 armor cards, and is starting the round by using the ability to discard any number of cards and draw new cards equal to the amount they discarded. Each hero class has their own unique abilities. Resolving a tie roll. In this example, both the Holy Monk and Mystic heroes have played the same value roll card. With a tie roll, we need to have both heroes play another roll card. After playing the second roll card, the Holy Monk wins the loot. If one of the players doesn't have a roll card, then the player who can play a roll card will win the loot. Selling items in the game. Players may not sell items to each other, but there are 3 traveling merchants that will appear throughout the game and give players access to some of their wares. When a player plays the traveling merchant card, they will draw 5 items from the top of the loot deck, and can then sell any items from their loot stash back to the loot deck in exchange for any of the 5 items that were drawn from the loot deck. In this example, the Mystic has drawn one of their armor cards. To buy the card, our hero needs to sell 100 gold pieces worth of items back to the loot deck. Inside the Mystic's loot stash are 2 valuable treasure cards, and they can sell each card back for 50 gold, for a total of 100 gold. Selling back both cards, the Mystic now owns one of the sought-after armor pieces they needed to win the game. All cards sold and drawn are then returned to the bottom of the loot deck. Free-for-all looting. Some cards and monsters can change the normal looting rules for the looting phase. When a player uses a card or a monster is drawn and it changes the looting rules, it is called free-for-all. To resolve loot using the free-for-all method, the following actions will take place. The player will place all of the loot into the center of the board. All players will then raise their hands high into the air, and the one person will count to 5. On the count of 5, each player will race to get whatever loot they can grab. So be fast and grab it all, or be slow and lose it all. Winning the game. There are 2 ways for our heroes to win at Lewt Ninja. Be the first to collect all 8 armor cards for your hero, or if any of your armor cards have been stolen from your hero, then collect as much loot as possible. If a round ends and there are no more loot cards left, to win, have every player count up the card's gold value for selling. The player with the highest gold score is the winner for Lewt Ninja.